Well, of course, everybody has anxiety. It keeps us alive. Everybody has a kitchen sink, and if you're not using the water's off. And did you know that the nervous system can be relaxed, soft, and neutral? Because I've been meeting a lot of people where they argue, they fight in their relationships. And or if they get upset, then they show aggression and anger like a bully. And again, that's in the nervous system. It's actually being, poorly conditioned, possibly in childhood. But as an adult, and I know you are, you can't look at me and convince me that it's okay for you to get angry at that high of a level and just attack and go after somebody. You just can't. It's an immaturity, has no emotional intelligence. And the saddest part is that you actually are failing yourself in that moment. So just think back for a month or two. Sometimes it's like 12 hours. The last time that you raised your voice, had an argument, had a fight with your significant other, and I pray not your child, but possibly your child. And just go back in that moment and ask yourself, was I even conscious? Would I do that again? Did I lose control? Did I sound like a blubbering idiot? Yeah, yes, and yes. So when you work with me, I'm going to settle you down pretty quick and pretty fast. And I'm going to help you develop other ways of communication. So we're going to relax the triggers, heal them. We're going to understand that there are more ways to get your attention and your point across. Because arguing, raising your voice, yelling, being a bully just really, really looks bad. And your significant other, the people that you love, shouldn't get a poor person out of you because that really is poor behavior. Had a bad day, so I took it out on my kids, my significant other, my coworkers. That's why a lot of people have road rage. So if you're driving around with road rage, you got to kind of stop right now because that person in front of you that honked or hit their brakes or did something, it's such a little minor thing. And as an adult person, if you can't get over these little minor things here and there, you you're out of control. And then your attitude, which is poor, which is bad, rude and mean, you probably don't even realize how you talk to others, and then you wonder why you're not necessarily that happy inside. Now, of course, at my age, I've dealt with people for feels like 100 years, but definitely 30, 40 years in business. And I remember years ago as a wedding photographer, a bride and groom were married for 7 years. They never ordered their album. So the groom called and said, I want the album done by Christmas. And I'm like, oh, not a lot of time. This is my crunch time. Bring in the proof book, bring in your checkbook. It's going to cost you. So we decided on a price. He wrote me out a check. I told him I'd do my best, which I'm going to get it out by Christmas, but it's going to be close. So 2 weeks before Christmas, he called me and asked me if it was done. And I said, nope, not quite. And then he went off on me on the phone. I got comfortable. I leaned back. I got focused. I listened to his words and I waited for him to stop. And I said, okay, are you done? And he said, yes. I said, perfect. I says, I'm not your wife. I'm not a coworker. I'm not a family member. And you will not talk to me like that. Because if you want to talk to me like that, come pick up your proof book and we'll just wash our hands forever and you'll never get an album. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I've had a really bad day. Well, I can predict that you are going to have a bad day, a bad week, bad month, bad year, bad life. If that is how you think you can talk to other people. I got the album done, of course. And I have 1,000 more moments where people think that they can be aggressive and win, but they lose. We're not meant to be aggressive with each other. Come on. It's the year 2025 right now. And if you can't handle how to be articulate with your words, keep your own emotions in check, then frantically grab your phone and call me right away. Because I'll tell you one thing, karma is not good for people that can't hold on to their emotional compass and they think that they can spew and spit out whatever they want to others. So until we have our first session, chill down. I teach people and I teach myself, I'm not important, nor are you. We're a collective. So if you went to a parking lot and it was busy, so what? You're not important. Settle down and wait. Be kind. Let somebody else go in front of you. But this is the anxiety, the fight, the flight, the fawn, the freeze. And it does not at all look pretty at any moment. So, it's like, oh, I want a nice relationship. I want love. I want somebody to love me. With poor behavior, you want somebody to love you, but you're going to show with poor behavior, which will actually ruin love. Because I will tell you one thing, please remember this for the rest of your life. In a healthy relationship, love is not enough. It's respect, common courtesy, willingness to listen, to try to understand another person's viewpoint well before yours is the most important. This is going to help your body be healthier. You won't age so fast. Your poor karma will slow down. And you'll actually be more likable and lovable. So is this making sense? Now, all my sessions are on Zoom and they're recorded. And the best part is that during the sessions, I'm going to point out a few things so that when you watch your session, you'll actually start to see. And people are blown away. They're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know I talked so poorly. I didn't know I didn't pay attention. Sometimes clients will be talking like this all over the place. And it's just like, how can somebody be really invested in your conversation when it's not between you and that person? So we're going to relax the nervous system. You can do that right now if you'd like. And you can soften, you can remember that you're not important any more than the other person is. And maybe, just maybe, you just might be interested in becoming humble, to becoming kind, because that's really what we're here for. Is to love yourself, of course. And you can't love yourself if you are thrashing other people. You just can't. I've answered that question. I don't need to answer it again. We're here to be kind and helpful and soft to others. And you don't have to like them to be nice to them. So, with all that said, I'm Diane at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, because you need to bring them both up at the same time. And I'm going to look at your lineage. I'm going to look at your lifetime, your past lives. I'm going to look at your timeline of this life in your past and in your future timeline. And I'm going to help you spot out those areas of your life where you're probably not doing it well. And then you're going to look at that and see that. And then you're going to come up with new ideas, and I'm going to help you practice. This is success. And do we need to practice every day? I'm sorry, we do. We brush our teeth every day. We drink water every day. So when somebody has that much aggression, that much anger, they're actually almost denying themselves of a good person within themselves. And somebody that lashes out is in pain, or you wouldn't be able to. So instead of masking the pain, we can go look at it quick, fast, simple, easy, and understand that moment. Kind of heal and get right with that moment, and then be able to move on, come back into present time. Just worked with a gentleman, and I looked at him and I said, around the age of 12, oh, something hit, something happened. And he said, this happened. I'm like, ouch. Yeah. And he brought it into his 40-year-old something self. That hurt, that wound, that cut went right to the bone. And it never healed. So we went in and started healing it. And then the man that was in front of me actually be able to become a strong, confident man in that moment, now that we went in and saw one of the triggers. So I find all of this quite fascinating. I love when I look at people to see how they're operating and why, and to decode and then to recode from the year 2025 into their adult self, because I know you're worthy of love. I just don't know if you know that yet. And I'd like to talk to you about your past that makes you think that you are not lovable, because I know you are. So my website, Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, all that stuff is down at the bottom. Reach out. We can have a beautiful conversation. I love talking. We can look at some of the areas in your life that are holding you back. Cut those ties and bring you into present time truth. And that you could be and you are quite amazing. So share this with somebody if you know that they're struggling. Watch it a couple times so that you can really start to get it going inside, because there's a lot of walls, a lot of guards that are probably stopping some of this info. So I'll be hanging out on my computer, waiting for you to call. Thank you.